Hello, my name is Emma, and today we're going to be talking about interviewing. This information is provided by the PA Career Link of Bradford Sullivan Counties. What is an interview? An interview is a chance for you to talk yourself up to the interviewer. Most interviewers will hire the applicant that they can picture working at the job they are hiring for. During an interview, the interviewer is trying to figure out your level of ambition for the job, how trainable you are, and whether or not you will be able to excel at the work required of this job. To prepare for an interview, you should do research about the company that you're applying to. You should learn about their mission statement, how and if they give back to their community, how many people work for that company. You should learn about what the company is looking for in a candidate. You should assess how the company fits your needs and how you can fill the company's needs. And also, find out whether or not you believe that you will fit into the culture of the company. The more you know about what the company wants in an employee, the easier it will be to showcase your skills and abilities that meet their needs, so be sure to read the job posting carefully. By knowing exactly what the company is looking for in an employee, you will be able to showcase your skills and experiences that directly relate to this specific job. In addition to asking you about your experiences as they are relevant to the job, the company is also going to ask you questions about your values and beliefs, and they are going to be looking to see how your personality and attitude fit into the company environment. Today's employers expect new employees to show up on time, give an honest effort, and don't always need to be told what to do. They want employees to treat others with respect and courtesy, and they also want people who value teamwork. Additionally, employers want to hire people who have both hard and soft skills. Hard skills are specific skills that are used on specific jobs. For example, being able to back a semi-trailer up to a loading dock without hitting anything or anybody is a hard skill that is necessary for a truck driver. Soft skills include showing up to work, being able to take direction, and having enough initiative to be productive. Soft skills are general, transferable skills that can be used almost universally at different jobs. At the interview, try not to show that you are nervous. Nervousness suggests a lack of commitment to this job on your part. It shows that you have not done very much research, and it shows a lack of confidence that you will be able to do this job. To avoid looking or sounding nervous at an interview, make sure you come prepared with answers to questions you will most likely be asked. Make sure that you are dressed in appropriate clothes for this company, and take a few deep breaths. By getting an interview, the employer has likely already looked at your resume and cover letter, and they already believe that you may be a good fit for this job and this company. At the interview, make sure to keep eye contact with the interviewer. Try to keep your hands still and avoid small distracting things such as picking at your nails or playing with your hair or clothes. Also, be sure to have a positive attitude, don't be afraid to ask questions, and use your manners. Your appearance tells the interviewer how you feel about yourself. Employers are influenced by your appearance and manners, so you want to capture their attention. Once you have their attention, continue to sell yourself to make the employer want to hire you. Make sure that you are comfortable talking about your own strengths and abilities. Companies usually hire for 3 reasons: to save time, to save money, and to make money. So an interviewer is trying to decide if you are going to be able to do the job efficiently and effectively, and if you will fit in with a company culture. Remember that there will always be more people applying for a job than there are jobs to give. Tell the interviewer you have been looking forward to this meeting. Let them know that you think that this is a great company, doing good work, and you are excited by the prospect of being able to contribute to that work. There are many different types of interviews. A screening interview is a preliminary interview which can happen either in person or over the phone, where a company representative determines whether or not you are still interested in the position and if you have the basic qualifications necessary to merit a subsequent interview. In a structured interview, the interviewer will explore certain predetermined areas using questions which have been written in advance. The interviewer has a written description of the experience and skills and personality traits of an ideal candidate. Your experience and skills are then compared to these specific job tasks. This type of interview is very common, and most traditional interviews are based on this format. In an unstructured interview, although the interviewer is given a written description of their ideal candidate, in an unstructured interview, the interviewer is not given specific instructions on what areas to cover with the interviewee. Multiple interviews are commonly used with professional jobs. This approach involves a series of interviews in which you meet individually with various representatives of the organization. In the initial interview, the representative will attempt to get basic information about your skills and abilities. In interviews after the first one, the focus is on how you would perform in the job in relation to the company's specific goals and objectives. After all the interviews are completed, the interviewers meet and pool their information about your qualifications for the job. A variation on this approach involves a series of interviews in which suitable candidates are screened out at each level of interviews. During a stress interview, the interviewer intentionally attempts to upset you to see how you react under pressure. You may be asked questions that make you uncomfortable, or you may be interrupted when you are speaking. Although this is uncommon for an entire interview to be conducted under stress conditions, it is common for the interviewer to incorporate stress questions as part of the traditional interview. In a targeted interview, although it is similar to a structured interview, the areas covered are much more limited. Key qualifications for success on the job are identified, and relevant questions are prepared in advance. In a situational interview, also sometimes called a behavioral interview, situations are set up which simulate common problems you may encounter on the job. These are open-ended questions such as, tell me about a time when you had to work with a difficult person. In a behavioral interview, how you have approached a variety of work situations in the past tells the interviewer whether your style and behavior fit well with the style used successfully in their organization. This approach is often used as one part of a traditional interview rather than as an entire interview. For a group interview, you may be interviewed by 2 or more company representatives at the same time. Sometimes one of the interviewers is designated to ask stress questions to see how you respond under pressure. A variation of this format is for 2 or more company representatives to interview a group of candidates all at the same time. You are most likely to have a structured interview with a traditional interview format. This type of interview will consist of 3 phases. In phase 1, the introductory phase, will include greetings and small talk. Phase 2, the question and answer phase, is the main phase, and while the interviewer will be asking most of the questions, you will likely be given an opportunity to ask any questions that you have. And part 3, the closing phase, gives you the option to cover any important points that have not yet been talked about, to discuss information about the next steps in the application process, and ask any final questions you might have. Remember, the more prepared you are for an interview, the less nervous you will be, so make sure to prepare well for every interview that you go to. You should also bring extra copies of your resume and cover letter with you to job interviews. Here are some of the most common interview questions. You should familiarize yourself with these and practice giving answers to them so that you are prepared during a real interview. These questions are, what can you tell me about yourself? What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? What do you know about this company? Why do you want this job? Tell me about a challenge or conflict that you have faced at work and how you have dealt with it. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What is your dream job? Why are you leaving your current job? How would your boss and coworkers describe you? Why should I hire you? And tell me about a time on the job when you felt a great sense of accomplishment. Everyone has a skills triangle. Your skills triangle consists of 3 different types of skills: your job-specific skills, your fitting-in skills, and your general transferable skills. General transferable skills are universal skills that can be used in all work situations. These skills include making decisions, paying attention to details, and managing your time wisely. Next, there are job-specific skills. These are skills you have that specifically apply to the job that you are interviewing for. And third, your fitting-in skills are skills that relate to your self-management, how well you function in different work settings and cultures, and what your personality is like. These skills are important to showcase if you do not have a lot of job-specific skills. Did you know that job seekers who can effectively present their adaptability to a new work situation get jobs over people with more experience and training? When answering questions in an interview, follow this 5-step prove it process. 1. Choose a skill. 2. Put it in a story. 3. Give numbers. 4. State positive results. And 5. Relate this skill to the job that you are interviewing for. This process is important because employers are going to hire the person who they can picture doing the job. By proving your skills by discussing them in a relevant story with quantitative, positive results, you will be able to paint a clear mental picture for the employer, which will increase your chances of advancing in the hiring process. Jobs will be offered to people who can communicate their qualifications and show genuine enthusiasm. Remember to always go to interviews prepared, and if you get to the end of an interview and you think you would really like the job, tell the interviewer that. Say that you would really like to work there and that you were excited about the job before the interview, and now you are convinced that you would like to work there. After a job interview, you should always send a thank you letter. In a thank you letter, make sure you thank the employer for their time, mention that you enjoyed meeting them, and sincerely compliment the employer about their business or about something you observed during the interview. Also in a thank you letter, you should state that you are qualified for the job by mentioning specific skills and personality traits you have that make you a top candidate for this job. Finally, end a thank you letter by again thanking the employer for their time and expressing an interest in the job. Here is a sample thank you letter. At the top, you should put your name, your address, your phone number, and your email so that it is easy for the employer to contact you. You should address a thank you letter to the specific person who you interviewed with. In the first paragraph, thank them for the opportunity to meet with them, and you should include the date that you were interviewed and the specific job position that you interviewed for. In the second paragraph, you should mention a part of the company that you are particularly impressed with. You should also mention how your studies or past work experiences have prepared you to succeed in exactly this job position. And finally, in the third paragraph, you should once again thank the interviewer for their time and consideration, and mention that you look forward to hearing from them about either a job or advancing in the hiring process. Thank you for listening. If you are interested in additional assistance, please go to the PA CareerLink site, www.pacareerlink.gov, and register as a job seeker, and sign up for the interviewing workshop at the Bradford Sullivan site located in Towanda, PA. You can also call your local PA CareerLink to receive more information about workshops that are offered near you.